What's more valuable and what should you focus on in your sales business? Is it procurement or is it fulfillment? Should I really focus on driving people into my business or focus on doing a great job when you're actually doing business with me? In this video, I'm gonna walk you through these two sides of your business and what you should focus on and when. It's just a quick little bit about myself. My name is David Brook. I run a $200 million real estate team in the Northeast, and I'm in the business of coaching real estate agents across the country as to how they can level up their business. If you want to learn a little bit more, you can always go to davidbrookcoaching.com to find out more information. All right, let's get into it here. Number one, procurement is the side of the business that brings customers in the door. You almost want to think of this like a coffee shop. I'm going to use an example. That's the ability to bring people into your coffee shop. Now, I love coffee, believe me. I drink it every single day. I make coffee at home for myself. I go to small boutique coffee shops. I go to Starbucks. I go to all the places, right? Because I just enjoy coffee. Fulfillment is the side of the business of handling and making good coffee. If I went to a coffee shop and there wasn't good coffee there, would I go back to that coffee shop? Probably not. So there's two things that are constantly at work in a sales professional's life. And obviously, if you're watching this video and you're in sales, especially real estate sales, you probably feel the tension in between both of these. The procurement side of the business of, I need to go out and get more business for myself today, and the fulfillment side of the business of, I actually need to do the job of making sure that I'm showing houses and I'm writing contracts and I'm actually going out and helping find these homes for people who want to buy and sell. You obviously can feel the tension, but where do you spend most of your time? How does it work? What do you focus on first? Well, if you're like most real estate professionals, you end up focusing right away, as you know, on the procurement side of the business. This is one type of agent. They go out, they tell everyone, hey, I'm in real estate. Congratulations to me. I've joined XYZ company. I'm in real estate now. And they're trying to go and get a client. They go to an open house, they ask their broker for a lead, they're trying to get some sort of business that they can. Then what they do is they get that business and they instantly shift away from procurement and they go over to fulfillment. Well, I need to make sure that they're gonna have a great experience. So now they focus on fulfillment, and once they're done handling that one transaction, they go back over. That's agent number one. Now that's very common, but the problem with that business model is that always you are constantly shifting from one to the next, one to the next, one to the next. And if you do that, you're always going to be in either feast or famine mode. Why? Because while you're doing the procurement side of your business, you're constantly not closing deals. And then when you're in the fulfillment side, you're closing the deals, but you don't have anything new in the pipeline. That's agent number one. Agent number two. Agent number two is constantly focused on the fulfillment side of the business. They're looking at, I want to make sure that I can serve the best coffee in our coffee shop analogy. I want to make sure that my buyer contract is the best. I want to make sure that when you work with me, I have the most beautiful listing presentation ever. I'm going to go online and buy these listing presentations. I need to go as much as I can to, conferences to learn and learn and learn and learn and learn to make sure I'm the best. Believe me, I believe investing in yourself is fantastic. I teach people and invest into them for their business. But if you don't actually go and do the procurement side of the business, you're going to be the brokest, smartest real estate agent out there. I'll say it again. If all you do is focus on the fulfillment side of the business, you're gonna be the brokest, smartest real estate agent, which doesn't work either. So what do? Where do you spend your time? Well, I'm gonna break this down a little bit further into the analogy of this brand of coffee. This is called Starbucks, and I wanna ask you, what is more valuable? Bringing someone into your coffee shop or serving the coffee? We've already talked about how both are important. So how do I find out what's more valuable? All right, let's talk it through here. How much does the person who serves coffee get paid versus the person who establishes the brand of Starbucks? Okay, now we're gonna start to find out what's more valuable because the dollars are gonna follow where the value is. Now, I love the fact that I go into a coffee shop, I get to greet a barista, they smile at me, hopefully. They offer to serve me some variety of coffee. They go over, they pour the milk, the cream, whatever it is. Actually, I don't get either in my coffee. I just get espresso over ice usually. But they're gonna make sure that the ice is filled. They're gonna make sure that the beans are ground. They're gonna make sure that everything's fresh in the back, the bathrooms are cleaned, etc. But they're probably generating somewhere between $15 and $25 per hour. They're doing 95% of the work. I mean, think about that. They're making sure that the garbage is empty. They're making sure that outside is cleaned up. They're making sure that the floors are swept. Every night they close up. How do I know this? I've known friends who work there. They do 95% of the work that's involved in pouring this cup of coffee. They make sure that the lids are there. They make sure that the stoppers, that the cups, you get the point. The barista is making sure that all of this has happened. That is the fulfillment side of the business. So why do they only make $15 to $25 an hour? But the person in marketing, Howard Schultz, who built the brand, why do they get paid hundreds of thousands? Why does the CEO, why do the executives get paid millions of dollars? Because what Starbucks is and what it entails, the brand of Starbucks, the actual marketing of it, that's what's brought in all of the people inside. Now the fulfillment side is important. It keeps them coming back. That's absolutely important. But if you had to understand what was more valuable, it is always going to be the procurement side of the business. You have to ask yourself, if I was amazing at procurement and only just okay at fulfillment, I would at least have a line out the door. You probably know real estate agents who are fantastic at driving business. Amazing, they're amazing networkers. They know how to pull in the business. And we're okay at fulfillment. And maybe doing a deal with them isn't great, but I'll tell you what they were able to do. They were able to put food on their table. They were able to generate a lot of business. And the important fact of this is that you can always improve your fulfillment and grow and develop your skills in that. Whereas you can be really, really good at trying to get good at fulfillment, but if you don't have the deals to actually get good on because you're not doing those deals, then that is the worst place that you can be. I want to say that again, and I'm going to double down on this. Spending all of your time focusing on trying to get perfect in this business before you actually do it is one of the fastest ways to see yourself out of the business. I mean that with all the love and compassion in my heart. I've coached hundreds of agents across the country, and I already know when I get on the phone with some of them, they're like, oh, I gotta make sure I get the best listing presentation and the best buyer. I'm like, listen, dude, you gotta get out. You gotta go meet people. You gotta bring them in to your brand. This is your personal brand. Otherwise, you won't have deals to work with to get better at your listing presentation, to get better at your buyer presentation, whatever side of the fulfillment that you wanna work on. So the point of all of this is this: focusing and working on the procurement side of the business is the area that's gonna cause your business to actually have longevity. Focusing and knowing that you can get a little bit better at fulfillment, there's always opportunities to learn. I've been in this business for 20 years. I'm still learning to this day. My fulfillment side of the business is constantly growing, whereas my focus forever has always been on procurement. Here's the other side. Fulfillment can be improved from transaction to transaction. Procurement typically takes 90 to 120 days to enact. Let me say that again. If you have a deal that you didn't do a great job on or that you want to get better on, you can instantly know. The customer says, hey, that wasn't good. For the next deal, you can say, listen, I want to partner with someone. I want to get some coaching to have an absolute knock out of the park transaction. I'm going to get some help with that. You can do it at the next transaction. Procurement, on the other side, if all of a sudden you're finding yourself and you're like, I need some help right now, typically you can't handle that within 30 days. Typically what you're gonna need is, that's when the lead generation starts, that's when the lead follow-up starts. It's gonna take 90 to 120 days to start bringing that business in. So what's more important and where do you need to focus? Every single time it's on procurement. Procurement always precedes fulfillment. It's gonna precede it in the actual flow of business, from generating it to the actual completing of it. Now, I'm not gonna get into all the ways in which you can focus on the procurement side of the business, but we're gonna go over that in more videos. But in this video, we're gonna focus on where should I be spending most of my focus? It is on the procurement side. That's how you drive the revenue to your business. The rest of everything else in the business can actually be leveraged. I mean, think about Starbucks, for example. Howard Schultz taught somebody how to fill a coffee shop with beans and with cups and with water and with variety of milks and everything else. He's taught someone how to do that. But the process of developing and bringing in those relationships and the advertising, the marketing, that's what his team focuses on. That's what the value truly lies. Now in this, we're gonna teach you, in some of my trainings, I teach you, you can look at some of the other videos as to how to bring in that business. How do I actually procure the business? I'll teach you on that. But on the fulfillment or the procurement side, the purpose of this video is to help you understand that the best way to get out of staying broke is to focus on procurement nearly exclusively. The fulfillment side can come. You can always get someone to do a showing for you. You can always get somebody else to help you out with things. In my business, I go and sell properties that I've never seen before because we've trained someone to the level of the fulfillment even better than how I can do it. To train someone who can show a house better than me, who can do a listing presentation better than me, everything else better than me on that side, but no one can do procurement and bring them into my organization, who bring them into my business better than I can, which is why I handle the procurement side of the business. So if you're a real estate professional and you've been looking to grow your business, if you're trying to figure out where do I go next, maybe you're at 0 to 1 deals, maybe you're at 0 to 5 deals, you're learning I gotta figure out how to do that. I'd encourage you to watch some of our videos on procurement, how to bring in that business, and then obviously reach out for coaching at davidrookcoaching.com. Hey guys, if this has been helpful, definitely subscribe to this channel. It will allow you to get more information on, that's behind the scenes working on how to run your sales business. Hope to see you on that next video.